Oh, there it is. Oh, it's just down here. Got it. Okay, so I just do these all the way across and that one all the way across. We don't really need to bring it out too far, but let's just do it anyway. And then I will go in and just do each one of these. Back to my vanishing point. Now, I'm not going to render this, all right? Because we already did a rendering of this, but I'll move on to the blue, what I call the blue bedroom perspective. Yeah? Thumbs up? Okay. And that one. And that one. And that one. And then that one. So in the end, we end up with... Any minute now.
Can you tell me, because I kind of have like lost my memory.
That's right. I don't have a good memory either. So
what stencil are we using when doing this? The 4H?
no, don't. For perspective drawing, don't use a 4H because you can't really see it very well.
Okay.
And I can't use a 4H on this paper anyway because it doesn't pick up on the camera. So use an HB.
HB, okay.
Yeah, or a 2B, and just do it lightly, but just so you can see everything. So when because I don't know what you guys have got at home, you might have scanners at home or a printer scanner or something like that you can actually then scan this, you know, once we take it off the page, and then print yourself out a version. Or you can take this one and because it's on trace paper and you want to put it onto ordinary paper, you can use your window at home, okay, and use your window like a light box. Yeah, that can work as well. So if you want to do some tracing, the other thing you can do, which is something that Linda and I were talking about, a suggestion of hers, oh, I've missed a line there, is that if you are very gentle, and you have to be really gentle, or your screen has to have glass on it, your computer screen, you could probably use that to help you draw a perspective. I wouldn't though, because if you press too hard, you could damage your screen. So I just go with going to the window, sticking it on your window. Of course, do it during the daytime. Don't try and do it during the night time. That's a bit weird. You won't be able to see. Or you can do things like take the Perspex out of an old picture frame and put a desk light underneath that by sort of balancing it on a couple of books or something, so that you can get a light underneath it and you can sort of create your own. That's easy enough to do. I used to do that a lot. I had a large piece of Perspex, clear Perspex, and I used to put it between two dining chairs and then put my desk lamp underneath it and use it as a light box kind of situation. Otherwise, just putting it on the window, your arm will get tired after a while, that's all, if you do it on the window. And then you can just retrace it off onto paper. Otherwise, scan it in and print it out onto an A4 sheet of paper. And this just fits an A4, or you can make it small. But anyway, we're not going to render this one because you've already rendered it. So I'm going to put this one away and I'll move on to the blue one, the blue room, which is the second one that I gave you guys. I've just got to look at how big I did the thing for this. I'll just take that off. Don't throw this grid away because it'll, you know, you might be able to use it for another drawing that you have, or just to get some ideas down. They're always good to keep. I've got several of them. Okay. Get rid of that. Get rid of that. Do that. I'll just set up a new.
Anna.
Yeah.
Anna, yeah? Yeah, can we get a copy of the the draw you just did?
Oh, yeah. Oh, I will send it through to you at the end of class.
Thank you.
I can't do it now, but you'll also get the video too, okay?
Oh, okay, thank you.
I'll put it on the Moodle for you. All right, now, let me just, I just have to open something up on here. I am looking for that piece of thing that I did. If I go on to, where is it? That one, and then I want to go on to here, and then I'm going to go onto the Moodle now so that I can download the Doodah. Do that. Yeah, I just did that incorrectly. Get me in there. I'm going to come down to fun time. Okay, and technical drawing, and that one. Okay, bedroom, that's what I want. Oh, that makes life so much easier, doesn't it? Okay. All right, just bringing this across into here so you guys can see it. And I'll come down so that I can actually make it bigger. All right, so this is the bedroom one. Yeah, that we sort of started on that last day. There's the plan of it there. I hope you guys can see this. I might just bring it in further. I'll just leave it there for the time being. And then it goes through the steps of how to render it, but let's have a look at how to draw the grid up. Now you would have got this as well. This is my drawing, so you can see in plan where to place your bed and all that sort of thing. But let's go to drawing this grid that we've got here. Okay, there's our horizon line there, and this is the grid we are going to draw up. So let's see what we have. We've got the vanishing point. Again, it's going to be a 500 by 500. The vanishing point is actually above the room, so we're looking down, really looking down into that room there. So let's set this up, shall we? This grid up so that we can see everything. So I'll get another piece of A3 paper. Just turning around here, get a piece of A3 paper. I'm going to pop that down on there, and then I'll stick it down so I make sure it's nice and straight. Oh, this thing moves. I don't like it. I don't like it. It's horrible.
Sorry, Annalise.
Yeah.
Are we going to draw the bedroom from the same vanishing point as we did last time, or from different level of vanishing point?
No, if you've already drawn up the vanishing, if you've already drawn this grid up,
Okay.
then stay with that grid, because I think we did this in class, didn't we? Somebody?
Yes.
Yes, we did. Okay, but for those who didn't, I'm going to start from the beginning to draw the grid. So if you wanted to do something else until we get to the point of actually starting to put the bits and pieces in,
Okay.
you can, but just keep an eye on the screen to make sure that you start to look.
Yeah, okay. Thank you.
Okay, sorry, honey. Because some people wanted to go through it again, so I'll just quickly go through it again. I'm just going to bring that down. You should see my flat piece of paper here. Bring that down further. It's not really straight, is it? Never mind. Do that. Do that. Don't like when it does that. Okay, so I think what I did was I actually use the right pencil. Let's have a bit of a sharpening of the pencil. It's good to have a sharpened pencil. Do that. Do that. You all right, kitten? It's just having a nice watch. Okay, so I will start this off in at 1 to 100. Okay, just in ordinary everyday average. That's better. You can see it down there better. In ordinary everyday average, 1 to 100 or centimeters, and I'm going to measure down probably 7 centimeters or 7 meters at 1 to 100 on both sides, so you've got it nice and straight. Draw a line going across. Oh, I don't like the way that's done that to that pencil. That's awful. Across the page. All the way across. So this is now going to be our horizon. So I'll write that down so that we know. And then I'm going to use 1 to 20. And I will measure in, I'm going to measure in 25, 2.5. And then the actual measurement of that room, where's the measurement of that room? Let's just have a quick look. That's it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So same thing, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So this is 27 high, and it's 3 meters across. So I'll do that. Go back up here, go down there. There we go. So I'll measure in first along my horizon line 2.5 meters, and then I'm going to measure across 3 meters, like that. And then I'm also going to measure down from the horizon line about, what does that look like? Let me just have a quick look at this. That looks like it could be, okay, let's just say 400. So I'm going to measure down 400 down there. So I'm going to measure down at 1 to 20 from the horizon. I'm going to measure down 400 and then draw another line going across. This will be, or just between those 2 points that I set up here, because that's the width of my room. I've just drawn it on the horizon line. So once I've done that, I will then measure from here all the way down to 27. So from there, I'll measure down 27 at 1 to 50. 27, 6, 7. At 1 to 50. I wonder if this is actually going to fit on the page. It should do. 27 at 1 to 20. Sorry, my mistake. And then measure up every 500. Doesn't matter if you do it on the side of the page or the side of the wall. I'm just going to do it on the side of the page. And I will draw a line. Oh, I really hate this thing. I'm really not liking it very much at all. And this one is going to come down from there. And then this is going to be...
Sorry, Annalise, can you please repeat the 27 thing you just mentioned?
Yeah, I will. Can you just hold on a second? I think I might
need sure.
to make this much higher. I am going to actually get you to do it much higher. Sorry, guys. It's not going to all fit on the page. So can you remember whether we drew this one at 1 to 50 or 1 to 20? Anyone remember? 1 to 50 is too small. I think we'll have to do it at 1 to 20. See it. Hold on a second. Let me just do that. Go away. That can go away. You all right, kitten? Yep, he's good. Excellent. Right.
Annalise, do you have cat?
Yeah, I do.
How many?
I just have one.
Oh my dear. You cat woman as well.
Well, no.
I am too.
You're a cat woman, are you?
Yes.
Oh, good. I like pussycats. I think that what we're going to have to do is do this instead. Let me just work this out. Let's just go from 1 to 20. Okay, so come down 500. So I'm going to measure that down. Oh, goodness me. So that's going to be our horizon.
Annalise,
Yeah.
sorry, you doing 120 and come down to 5, or you do 100?
No, I'm doing 1 to 20. Can you guys hold on a second? I'm just going to get my old T-square. It won't be a second. It's just in a cupboard over here. Oh, there it is. No kitten in here. Come on. No kitten in there. Kitten's not going in there. Oh, it's too big. Okay. It's way too big. Okay, don't worry about that. All right, ignore what I just said then. Anyway, yeah, I measured down from here to here is 500 at 1 to 20, okay? So that's now going to be our horizon line. Doesn't matter which side you write it on.
Sorry,
then
I
I-
can't see the top of your page.
Can't see.
That's at the top of my page.
Yep, out of the screen.
That's really annoying, isn't it? Let me just bring my page down, shall I? Thank you for letting me know.
No worries.
I've just torn the corner off my thing completely. Can you see the top of my page now? Yes, good.
Yes, all good.
Oh, good.
Now we can't see the bottom of the page.
Well, you get either one or the other. You can't have both.
But we still have to wait, right? Or we follow you?
No, just, yeah, I've just brought that down. It's like the bottom of my page is sort of, see where my finger is here?
Yeah.
It's not far away from where my finger is. You won't really need the bottom of the page. I'll measure down from the top, all right, all the time. So first thing I did, because I just realized that we wouldn't fit it on, is that I just measured down 500 from the top of the very page down to here is 500, and then I drew a line going all the way across, and that's going to be our horizon line. This is going to be slightly different because the view we're drawing will not be straight on. We're going to be looking down into the room, okay? And then from that, I'm going to measure down at 1 to 20. I think I'll just bring it down by 300. So see, this is 1 to 20, and that's 300, 100, 200, 300. I'll measure down from there 300 with the other pencil that I had because it's a much nicer pencil to draw with. It's disappeared under here. Stop it. So I've drawn, this is down from here to here. This is 300 at 1 to 20, okay? And then I'll draw another line going across here. Let me just straighten this line up, shall I? There we go. And then I will draw this line going across here, which is going to be the top, but I'll only do it lightly. Sorry, my paper moved and I had to redraw the horizon line. This is always annoying, but never mind. Okay, there we go, there we go. Right. So, that one's horizon, that one's the top of our room, the ceiling of our room. And then the other thing we're going to do from here is we're going to go measure, well, find 2700. So that's 500, 1 meter, 1 meter 50, 2 meters, 2 meters 56, 7. So it's that little bit there. So put that next to where you just drew your 300 line, and then go down to 0 and then measure up on the side of your page every 500 like that. Okay? And then I'm just going to put in the bottom one very lightly. Very, very lightly to begin with, and I'll come back and make it darker later. So that's what it sort of should look like. Look a little bit odd, because remember I said that we will put whatever's left over from the 500 by 500 grid, or any grid, we put the smallest bit at the top of the wall we're looking at. All right. Now, from the left-hand side of your page, with your 1 to 20, you will measure in. You can see that one up there, or will I come down to this one? You can see that one better, can't you? You will measure in 2 meters, 2 meters 500, which is this one here. And then from there, measure 3 meters, which comes up to here. There's the number 3. And then just mark off lightly every 500. All right. And you should have something that looks like that. So from here to here, that's going to be 2 500 at 1 to 20. Okay. Measuring in, and then this wall here is 3 meters. Measure off every 500. And then we can draw the bottom of our wall up until it meets the ceiling, which is this second line from the top. Okay, and do the same on the other side. So we do that. And then...
Sorry, Annalie.
Yes?
A quick question.
Yeah?
How do you determine 250 on the left? Or
I just wanted the drawing to be vaguely in the center of the page. That's all.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah. So it sits in the center of the page. It doesn't. It's just so I give you a measurement. Otherwise, you'll be asking me what the measurement was. I can judge it, but I'd rather give you a measurement so that you're all okay. Yeah.
So usually, you just try to make the center grid into the middle.
In the middle of the page, yeah.
Yep.
Whatever it is, you just want it to sit in the middle, or that wall that you're looking at in the middle. Okay.
Yeah, but when you have the vanishing point not at the center.
I never put it in the center of a drawing.
Okay.
Okay.
So that means one side of the room will be larger than the other.
Than the other side. That's correct.
But you still put the wall in the middle.
You still put the wall you're looking at in the middle of the page, and then wherever you put your vanishing point within this space will indicate where things sit as far as the room. So I've just gone across here and done all of those 500s going up that way. Now I'm going to come back to these markings I put here on the side, and I'm going to do each one of those coming across now. But I'm not going to draw it from the edge. I'm just going to draw it from those two. I'll start from the top so that you can see the lines being drawn. I don't like this set square. I don't like it. It's horrible. It's moving and I don't like it. Okay. Just anyway. And this one. So you can, if you want to, if you don't have your T-square set up, you can do what we did last time and not only put the measurements on this side of your drawing, but you can put the measurements on this side of your drawing as well, so that you can put your ruler between those 2 points and draw some nice straight lines. See how you go. So this is it so far. Now, we decided that we were going to have the vanishing point for this particular drawing. Doing the mousy thing now, and I go into here, and we used, if we count from here, 1, 2 boxes in on this line, going right up until we get to the horizon line. So remember, we drew the horizon line first, which is this one here. See that one? That's our horizon line. That's the top of the wall, where the wall and the ceiling meet. So if I follow 1, 2, and then I follow this line going right up until it goes through my horizon. I'll do that again. Going up here, and it goes through my horizon line. So that's where it goes through my horizon line. That's my vanishing point. It's above, it's actually outside and above the top of the ceiling of the room we're drawing. So that's our vanishing point. We do VP. So we know it's our vanishing point. And then from there, we do what we did. Oh, we smudge stuff across the page. No, we don't smudge stuff across the page. We do that.
All because you want to use your black rubber, right?
It's, yeah, it is. It's just so I can use my lovely new black rubber. I'll just leave it on the, I'll just leave it there. Okay. So you can see it at all times. All right.
Yes. Perfect.
Perfect. That's what I thought. Okay. So we're going to count up. I can't remember how high we made this. Oh, good grief. I don't have it open on the other screen. So let's go in here. So that's up there. So it comes into, and then that goes up there. All right. All right. I made a mistake. So from here, we do what we did last time, again using our vanishing point, and we go to the 4 corners first, so that you set up the room so, you know, it looks like a room immediately, except for this time, see how the lines are coming, you look like you're above the room instead of below it, like that. Okay, so we're looking down into the room from up here. We're looking down into it. Oops, that way. Move your hands that way, Anne. All right, sorry about the flickering screen. And again, we're going to put the grid down here. So we go back to our vanishing point and we draw these on here first. So let's draw those on here first. Each 500, bring it forward from the vanishing point, from the vanishing point, from the vanishing point, and then down through there. So there are our 500s on the wall. Now they're coming out in perspective, so they're going to get larger as they come out towards us. Now, we have to put a grid on here, and again, you guys probably don't have enough table. So what I will do is I will work out, and first of all, I have to move this over here for a second. Move that over there for a second. Where that's going to be. Okay, I think this is how it's going to work. If we extend again this first line across on the grid, this first line here, if we extend that across there, and measure in, let's just put some of these points going across that line every 500 and see what we get. So if I do it there, I'm going to get that space, which I think is enough. Okay, so extend that line out, then measure from here out 1500, okay, millimeters at 1 to 20. Then use that point on this line here to help you draw the grid on the floor. Okay, so from that point through the corner of the room, draw the lines across, and you're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So again, once this line intersects with these lines coming out, you're going to draw a straight line going across. So just make sure that your ruler, if you're not using a T-square, that your ruler is in parallel with this first line here, which is where the floor and the wall meet. And just draw those coming out all the way across. So we end up with something that looks like this. And one more. But I think we actually have to now extend another 2 coming out. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So we need to put in another meter or another 2 500ths. To do that, to extend this grid out, you can go back to this point here that we first did to draw the diagonal line across here, and you can put it on there, but I'm not going to put it on there. I think what I'll do, no, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to do it this way instead. Come down to the very last box. What, darling? What's the matter? I know. Can you hear my pussycat? Anyway, from that corner to that corner, put your ruler between those 2 points, okay? And then draw a line going through until it goes over 2 of these. And that will extend our grid. Won't do it the other way because it'll make it look really weird. So we'll do it this way instead. And so when that one intersects with that one, we can then add 2 more of these. So we end up with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. How's everybody going? Any questions? Are we all right? You can just go back to here.
Excuse me, Alice.
Sorry, one at a time, please.
You go first, whoever.
Okay. Yeah, let me. Hi, Alice. I didn't understand the last diagonal line. How did you?
These last 2.
Line? Not that one. The diagonal line.
That first one.
Not the first one. The second one, parallel to the first one.
This one.
Yeah.
Yep. Okay. What I did was, so you and what is? Oh, don't show everybody your bottom. Sorry, I'm going to turn this dreadful thing off because it's really odd. Okay, there we go. Yes, I know, darling. Stop it. Come on, stop it. Sorry. Down there. That's a good boy. Don't pull the painting off. Hurt yourself. All right? Good boy. Okay, sorry. I just had to stop the cat from tearing everything down. What I did was, you'd drawn up to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then I put my ruler between this point here on this last box here to that point there, and then I extended the line so it went through another 2 of these things coming out. Is that clearer?
Yeah. Thank you.
So you can keep doing that to extend a grid coming out further and further. It's just at some point you will have to stop because it'll go out of perspective. And then once you've got those 2 points and you put a little dot there, you can then draw 2 more lines across here. And so then we'll have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay? Are we all with me?
Annalise,
What?
yeah, if I don't have you here, how do I know that I have to pick that tile to, make that line?
Oh, to extend it.
Yeah, how do I know that I have to pick that the tile number 6? I mean, if I
Okay.
don't have you to tell me here.
Oh, okay. I'll go back to this little number here, which is this one, and I'll bring it across so that you can see it.
Mm-hmm.
There it is there. Do that. So if I go back, see this, the plan? Okay.
Yep.
How many squares are in here?
1, 2, 3,
3, 4, 5, 6,
7, 8.
8.
Uh-huh.
Okay. And it's 6 meters, it's 3 meters across, or, so 500, 501 meter, 2 meters, 3 meters.
Mm-hmm.
So that's how I know how far to bring it forward because of how big the room is.
Mm-hmm.
Now, you will know how big a room is whether you put a grid on your plan or not. Okay. So you just need to bring your perspective out as far as, and in this case, I've brought it out by 8 boxes. Now, there would be a wall here, but we're just sort of ignoring that fact. Okay. You got me?
My question is why you pick the tile number. Hang on, let me count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Right? You put the dot to the the diagonally. I can't say that word. Yeah, into that and that. Why don't you pick 5 or pick 3? The tile, the grid down.
Oh, here where I came out here. No.
Yeah. On the floor.
On here, why
Yeah.
did I draw the line going all the way across here?
Yep.
Because I need 8 of these because this is my floor.
Mm.
And if I look at my floor plan, I've got 8 squares on my floor plan. See? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Now this is a floor plan. It's not in perspective. So I knew I had to have 6 going across and 8 coming forward. And that's what I've done.
Yeah. I understand that. Let me change the question.
Okay, go on.
It's totally my fault as I explained my question. What is different if I pick the tile? You see on the floor, right? You pick the tile number 6 down to just put the dot across the tile and just line draw the line. If I pick the tile number 5, which is 1 above, and do the dot. Yeah.
Oh, from here. So if you choose it from
works
here,
the same thing.
it still should give you the same thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's whichever one you use, but I only drew the reason why I've only got 6 coming forward, 6 500s coming forward, is
From
because of the width of the room. To add more, whether you use the last lot of boxes or not, or the next one down, you will
give you the same result.
Yeah, you'll get fairly close to the same result. Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
Thank you.
Because we started it from that corner, so if I follow that line down, I'm going to start it from that corner again, rather than starting it from here. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Okay. That's my question. Thank you.
That's all right, sweetie. So you should end up with something that looks like this. All right. And this is the grid we're going to use to draw that room with. You all okay? Excellent. Now I'm going to put a piece of trace paper. If anything is getting in your way and you don't want to see it. You can get rid of it if it's going to annoy you. I'm just going to get rid of those for the time being. Like that and like that. And there, those bits there and those bits there. I'm being ignored now by the cat. I didn't pay me any attention. I'm just going to get some trace paper and put it over the top. Like that. So that I can draw on the plan, floor plan in perspective first before I start to bring things up. So stick that down so it's nice and even-ish at this point in time. Now, the good thing about having a grid on the floor is that when you go to draw the plan that you've got, let me see if I can do this. I'm going to do that, and sorry, I'm just making it a little bit smaller so that I can bring up the other one as well. Bring that one up to, I'm going to make it smaller, and then I want it to be view, and I want it to, no, I don't want it to be full screen. I just want it to be that. Can you guys vaguely see that? See the grid there? Oh, will I just go from screen to screen? Might be too small for you. Okay, I'll just go from screen to screen. I think that might work better. It's too small. I mean, it's large on my screen, but it's not on yours. Okay, so I'm just going to go back to our PDF. And the grid on here is going to help us to draw these things here. Okay, so see how that's a side table, that's a side table, and that's the bed in there. Okay, so that is our bed, and whoops, don't do that. And that's going to be our two side tables. But let's do something simple first. Let's just put in these windows or sliding doors as they were. So as you can see, if we count 1, 2 from the left-hand side, we know that we've got doors that are going to come 1 metre, 2 metre to the corner, and then they're going to come 1, 2, and 3 metres down. So if we go back to our perspective drawing, this is how we count those things. That's really dull, isn't it? I'm so sorry the light's gone. So I'm going to go 1, 2. So this is where my doors are going to start. So I shall draw a line going up, and you can make them go up to 2500, okay? Which is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of those boxes. So that's where it's going to start. So this is not a window, that's a blank wall. Then here's my first sliding window, and then there's my second one. Right. And I've just drawn those on the back wall. The other thing you should do once you put your trace paper on is to just draw in the walls so that you can see them. And that one up there, and I'll just do that one. Don't do the rest of the grid on your trace paper, just draw in where the walls are. Whoops, I'll come up there. I can't see that unless I put my head in the way. I think that's it. And I think this is it here. Going from there to there and there to there. And then from there to there. Okay. So that you can see, you know, the room. Then, as we said before, the windows come down here. So they come down, there's 3 of them down here. So that's 1 metre, 2 metres, 3 metres, counting along here. So I'm just going to draw a line very gently at first. Just very gently all the way up. Now I need to know where 2500 is on this wall here, and to do that I use my vanishing point. I go to the side of where I've originally drawn these two sliding doors, because remember this is all in scale, and I'm going to extend that line so it goes down that wall like I did with the ceiling line, okay, until it intersects with this one that I drew going straight up. And that is how we draw in our 3 doors on that side. I know they don't look straight, but it's the thing. And our 2 doors on this side. These ones are going to look smaller because they're at an angle to these, but they're the same size. You can see by counting the squares down the side that each one of these is 1 meter. All right. So there's our doors, our sliding doors that are in the room. So that's what we've just drawn. Let me get some white paper. White paper. And so that's what we should have at the moment. Not that white paper, that's just for white paper. Let's use that white paper. Let's do this one. Sorry. Now, that's what it should look like. All right. There's our 2 doors, sliding doors there, and there's the other 3. So go around the corner. So if I go back to this one, we've just drawn 2 doors there and 3 doors coming towards us. Okay. Now, let's just have a quick look at where this first side table is. It's 500 by 500, but it starts about 400 from the wall. Okay. Doesn't actually sit in the grid as such because the, you know, the placement, this down here, this is actually a cupboard. So we're going to say it sits, comes in 400, goes over 500. So let's draw that on the ground in our plan, in our perspective. We go back to our grid and this is the first 500. Now I want to find out where 400 is in here, and I'm going to have to guess that. All right. So I'm going to say if I know from there to there is 500, I'm going to pretend that 400 comes to there. And then it will go 500, meaning that it will stop in the next square around about there. So it's giving me an idea of where something is sitting, not so much, and the grid helps you. So we know it comes out 500. We know it's 500 thick. And then we have, that's the first side table. Doesn't fit into the grid, it sits just in. So just do both of those and you'll have that. The bed starts, if we go back to the bed, we have a quick look at the bed. No, sorry, I nearly turned on something that I should have off. I bring that down. No, that's not working either. That's shit, isn't it? Sorry, I didn't mean to swear. I'm so sorry. I have to stop doing that. The bed actually starts on the second box in 1, 2, and it goes for 3 boxes, 1, 2, 3, or 3 squares, and it comes out 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so let's go and draw that in here. So it starts 1, 2. So that's where it starts. Then I count 1, 2, 3. That's where it finishes. Then I count from the side here 1, 2, 3, 4. And that's the length of the bed. And then I count 1, 2, 3. And that's the other side. So let's just draw that on the ground first. Okay. And then from our vanishing point, coming to the front like that. How are we going? We all okay so far? If you just want to watch, you can. And you can have a look at this later. But I want you guys to actually, I'm going to set up a submission folder so that you guys can take a picture of this and you can send it to me to show me what you've done. So here's the bed in there. I'll just lift that up so that you can see it. See, bed. Still everything on the ground. We haven't put any heights on anything because we want to get the placement correct before we start to do that. Let's quickly go. Sorry, I have to keep reaching over here too because my mouse is so far away. So if we look back in here, where is the thing? I'm just going to bring that in so that perhaps you guys can see that better. That might be better. Over there, that's better. Okay, so we've just drawn the bed here. We're going to draw this one now, and it starts probably about 100 from the bed, and it's 500, so it's going to start just after that grid and finish just after this lot of grids here. Let's go back and draw that in. So it's just going to start just after the grid here, after the bed. It's only 500 deep, so I just draw it out to the first 500, and it will finish somewhere down here, just over this gridded 500. So there's our other bed side table as well. So have you got, can you guys do that and then give me a bit of a thumbs up when you've managed to do that, those of you who are drawing? Good, 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 good. Excellent. Someone's pointing a ruler at me. Okay, so that's where it comes. So we've got those two.
Can I be annoying?
Yeah.
I kind of missed, because I was trying to catch up. I kind of missed, how did you? Maybe I can figure it out. The windows from the side.
These ones down here.
Yes. Yes.
Okay. So you know each one of these are 500?
Yes.
So two together would be a metre?
Yeah.
Okay. So that's 1 metre, 2 metres, 3 metres.
So
and then you draw those going up there. To get the height of it, you come back to this back wall.
Yeah.
You follow that line across until it intersects with this wall and the side wall. Go to your vanishing point, draw a line through, and then you know where to stop those things going up. Yep.
Yep.
Excellent. Okay. So now what we want to do is we want to bring some height onto these objects here. And to do that, we need to know how high they are. Now, I'm going to say that the side tables and the bed are all going to be the same height, because that makes our life so much easier, and we then don't go into a conniption. So let me just do this. And I'm just going to go down to the next page. No. So we did that. So there is a step-by-step in this document that I've given you. So there's the windows, as we were talking about. There's the bed on the ground. And there's this, there we've just drawn this bit here. Okay. Now, to get the height, which goes into these much smaller drawings, we're going to use the side, this side, and the grid going along here as well. In the one that we've just drawn, we haven't drawn the full grid on this wall and this wall, which is perfectly all right, because we can still use the grid at the back. So let's put a height on this particular thing, or we can put a height on here, which actually works better because you can see it better. So let's do that. First of all, let's bring 500, which is from here to here from our back wall, along this wall here. And to do that, we go to our vanishing point and we go to the 500 and then we follow it down that wall.
Annalise, may I stop you for a second?
Yes.
Wanna double check that you intended to just like make your door is higher than the example?
Yes.
Okay, that's it.
Yes, I thought it would be easier than you guys. I just made it 2,500 instead of 2,100.
Okay.
I mean, you can make it 2,100 if you want to. You just have to measure up there and then do that and then follow it down the wall if you want to.
No, that's okay. I just wanna double check.
Yeah,
Thank
you can make them any height you want. It's just that I thought it'd be easy for you to just go up to here. Anyway,
Yeah, okay, thank you.
so we've come across here. This is the back wall. This is, I know that's 500. I go to the side where these two walls meet, go back to my vanishing point, put my ruler between there and where this hits here, and then I follow that line through, and then this, all of this in here is 500 all the way down to the wall. All right? So that means that all I have to do is then where this is and this is and this is, but let's do the one at the front first because it's much easier to draw. If we follow, if I follow where these two, the floor and this side wall meet, if I then draw two straight lines going up until they hit that 500 that I just drew down here, that then gives me the height of this object. To get this height out into the middle of here so I can, you know, turn this into a cube, because it's 1 point perspective, this line and this line will always, verticals and horizontals will always remain the same. So I need to get this point, which is this one on the ground, out here above that point. And to do that, I just draw a straight line from there out into my perspective, like that. So I'm drawing this line that's on the ground, 500 up above. And then I can make this corner come up to here. So it intersects with this one I just brought out. I can bring this one up so it goes up further. And I can then bring this out into the perspective as well. And then go back using where these two intersect, back to my vanishing point. See my vanishing point? And draw a line here. So I end up with something that looks like a cube, which I'll just show you by doing that. So can you see the cube now? So I used the 500 here, drew a line from my vanishing point all the way out here. Then I drew vertical lines up from where this is placed against the floor and this wall here, straight up until they intersected with this 500 here. Then I needed to get this point out here, so it sits above that point there. So I horizontally drew straight out from there, and then I drew another line so it came straight up. And when they intersect, that gives me this side. Okay. And if I want to get this side, I have to draw another line horizontally out from where this line comes up here and intersects with this 500, draw it out, and then I can draw this line so it comes up and intersects with that. It's what you're doing is you're sort of chasing a line around. So you're using one point to help you draw another point. So you end up with that. So just have a go at that one first and let me know if you guys can do that. Otherwise, I'm happy to explain it again.
Sorry, Annalise. I have a rectangular rather than a like a square. I don't know what's my measurements. What's wrong with that? Can you please explain this again?
This one again? Yep.
Yes, yes, please. Yep, thank you.
Just erase it like that. Erase it like that. And remember, you can go back and look at the video once I put it up on the thing. Okay. But what happens is that it's a bit grubby, but never mind. Remember that I measured up here using the grid 500. I then went to my vanishing point and I drew this line straight out here because I put my ruler between those 2 points, drew the line out. Then where this box on the ground meets the floor and this wall, you draw a line straight up until it intersects with this line I've just drawn out. So let me just draw that line out a bit darker so you can see it. Okay. And then, whoops. So from the ground going up the wall until it hits that 500. That's my 500 line. Do the same with the back of that square until it hits that line. So you've got, so virtually what you would have drawn is something that looks like this. Okay, goes around like that. I now want to bring this line out, so I start to form a square, but I needed to find the height first. You just can't start drawing things out in the middle of it and guess the height. It's better to use your height lines to help you to draw what you want to have happen with the height of each object. So once this line's been drawn out, I've drawn these two up till they intersect. I can then draw horizontally that line coming out from the wall and that line coming out from the wall. And that line is parallel with this line on the floor, and that line is parallel with that line on the floor. Now I just need to draw from this point here like I did here. So I've brought 500 out into the middle of my drawing. Now I use that to help me draw the front part of the cube by going from here, oops, here, drawing straight up until it intersects with that height that I've just drawn out. And I can do the same with this corner here on the ground, bring it up until it intersects with that back line. And then if I'm any good at what I'm doing, if I put my ruler between that forward point here and draw it back to the vanishing point, that should intersect through the same spot at the back there. So now I've got a cube. Is that easier? Is that better? No, yes, no, yes. Okay. Once I've got that height, you can then do it to the rest of these on the ground. Now, this is where it sort of gets a little bit when you start to draw over the top of things. So I'm now going to draw from the floor. I'm going to draw this one up, okay? So I will go to this line here on the ground. And yes.
So when we are drawing into perspective and we have to draw things on top of all things, we always start from the front.
Well, you can start from the back as well, but I start from the front because then I don't have to draw as much, because this is going to, you know, sort of, I won't see all of the bed,
yeah,
and I won't see all of this, so I don't have to draw it then, and I can use this to help me draw the other one of those anyway.
The best way to go from the front to the back.
Yeah, because then you don't. Now, if you
Also, you don't have to use your rubber as much if you drop it back and then
yeah. The other thing too is that if this becomes too overwhelming for you, that when you start to draw the next object and the next object, you can draw them one at a time on separate sheets. Okay. You can put another sheet of trace over the top,
and then you
line it up and then draw this one and then draw that one. It just means that you have to remember to put that back wall in every time you put a new sheet on.
Yeah.
So that you can line it up properly. So that when you put them all together, you can then trace off the things that you want to keep. So you can do it, or you can do it in a colored pencil in another color. That also helps.
Yeah.
But it's the same. Whatever I did here, it's going to be the same for that one. Not so much that one, because you won't see very much of that one. So let's just do the bed now. Okay. Yeah. So I'm going to draw the bed and give it a height. It's going to be the same height as my side tables. So I'll go from this corner here. So I'll follow that line across here and I'll draw a line up until it hits the height. Remember, this is my height line. So that's 500. If it was more than 500, I would bring another line out from here, but I'm just going to make them all 500 because otherwise it's going to get too, confusing. So I draw this line going across here, which we've already drawn, up to my height line. Yep, which is this one here, that one there. Then I'm going to bring it going out across here. So I'm going to bring that height of the bed out into the room. Like that. And then when I get out and I'm above this point on the ground here, I can draw a vertical line going straight up. Sorry, yes, a vertical line going straight up. Sorry, my eyes just decided to become very itchy. So see how I measured up to the height line, drew the line going out, then I measured up from that point on the ground to this height out here. And I can either do the same at this corner down here, but it's all a bit too complex there. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to use where these 2 points hit together from my vanishing point, where those 2 points hit together, and I'm going to draw that line coming forward, which looks a bit odd at the moment, but it'll suddenly and magically look wonderful in a minute. Then I'm going to draw this point on the ground going straight up until it intersects with the one that I just drew there. Erase that. And then I can bring it back until it hits the wall here. So I'm just going to go back until it hits the wall, which is going to be there. Oh, there. I think I did that too high. Anyway, so you end up with something that will look like this. Mine's gone a bit wobbly, I think. It needs to be higher. Actually, that is really weird, isn't it? That should be there. Sorry. Something didn't go right somewhere. Let me just try and do that again. So I drew that line going up there. And when I got to there, it came out. Might be because this is all a bit wobbly and horrible. I'll do this line going straight up to there and then draw the bed coming out from there, I think. I am going to come back to this point on the ground here, draw it straight up until it hits that height line. Because it's got to line up with this, and it wasn't doing it, so I don't know what's going on. So I'll go back to the old way. Draw this up until it intersects with that. So I've just drawn whatever I drew over here. I've now drawn over here above this line, and then from my vanishing point all the way through to there, I should have something that looks like this. So now I've just drawn in the bed. So see how the depth of the bed is actually covering the bottom of this? I'm not going to see that bottom part. So I'll use this side table to help me draw the side table next to it. Are you all okay? Sort of getting it? I know it's a bit difficult to understand, but it will make it easier as it goes along. And then I'll just darken up those things. So there and there and there and there. And I've got those. Oh, this stupid thing is not straight. Okay. So now
Sorry,
I have
Annalise.
what is it?
Sorry, my side table, the top line
Yeah.
has the surface past the line of the bed. So I think something is wrong with mine, isn't it? It shouldn't like this
it'll
line.
be very, very close, honey. It'll be
But
very.
mine is on top of the bed line, so it should be wrong, isn't it?
What do you mean? You don't have
It's
a gap
on
here?
over. No, it's over. That's yeah. Mine
So
is
the
over.
side table is over the bed?
Yes.
Oh, that's interesting. Did you go down the bottom here and draw a line going straight up? Until
I think
this line here. So follow where the bed starts on the ground, follow it straight up the wall until it intersects. It should sit a little bit away. So just check your lines again where you started from.
Okay.
And that may make a huge difference to what we've got. So we've got that. So we've got the bed, we've got a side table. We've still got this side table over here on the ground, but we're really only going to be seeing a little bit of it. And we can use this to help us draw this side table over here. And how you do that is by going back to the side table. The very front of the side table, go back to here, to your vanishing point with your ruler, and then I'm just going to draw a line that does that. Yeah. And then on the ground where this actually sits, I'll just draw some points. So on the ground, I'll draw that point there. I'll draw that point there, which sits on that height line. And then all I'm doing is just vaguely drawing in where the other one's going to sit. And then that one on the ground, bring it up from there rather than drawing the whole line. I'm just, this keeps moving until it hits my height line. I don't draw the whole thing because it just gets confusing. And then I've drawn the top. I've drawn the top part of my side table, and I don't have to draw this line all the way down. All I'm going to do is draw part of it. Okay, I need to see that much of it. And then I can get rid of this one on the ground. And I can get rid of that.
I do really need a black rubber. My drawing is too messy.
Yeah, it gets really smudgy, doesn't it? Particularly if you're not drawing in a fine pen. So this is what you should have after you've finished, or vaguely what you should have. Mine aren't really quite correct because my ruler's just a bit weird. But something that looks vaguely like this, we'll be happy with, okay? And I'm just going to erase the things that I don't want to see. That one there, that one there, and that there, and that there, so that I end up with just those things. So I do that. Okay. How are we going? Are we sort of understanding everything up to here? No, we hate it, Annalise. We don't like doing this perspective drawing stuff. It's awful. It will help when you're doing,
Annalise,
when we go on to doing SketchUp, okay?
look, Annalise.
What am I doing?
Meow.
Oh, sorry. What did you do? Oh, pussycat or something. Oh, you dreadful, awful woman. Okay. All right. So that I don't keep going back and you guys don't get bored to tears when you look at this video again, this is just basically what we will get up to and what I'd like you to finish. I'm not going to go any further than this because I think that's going to do your brains enough to begin with, okay? Because then after this, we're going to start to put in a bit more detail. So we make the bed look smoother, we put a bed head on it, and we put some side tables and things like that. And I don't know if you want me to keep going until we break for lunch, another half an hour, or whether you want to break now, and then we'll come back and either do this or we'll do something different in the afternoon. What would you like to do?
I've been having fun.
You've been having fun? You said with a hand on the face going, I'm getting a migraine.
Look. No, look. Quite happy.
Oh my goodness, look at you. Good girl. Oh, that's lovely.
So Annalie,
Yeah, who's showing me something?
so I think we go for lunch first. Can we go for lunch first?
Yeah, oh yeah, I won't go on. Yeah, have a break now and then we'll get back to each other at, what time is it? It's 49, so you want to have an hour's break?
Yes, please.
Okay, so we'll get back at 12:49. All right, my little lovelies? So you can turn your camera off and everything. And then you just have to, you know, and your sound off, and then you can just, when we're all ready, we can come back. Okay, lovely. Beautiful stuff.
Thanks, Annalise. Just a question. How can we have access to the things you recorded already?
I will put them on the Moodle. Okay.
Okay, because I just want to try again from the first about this like side table and bed. And if I have any questions, can I go back? You're going to put it now?
I'm going to try and put it on now.
Okay, thank you. That's good.
I just have to stop recording. So there'll be 2 videos.